I believe man is responsible also, but his part is only 0.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Very, very small. A 60% increase in CO2, as well as those other greenhouse effects, causes 0.6 degrees increase, representing only a 1 degree Fahrenheit for doubling of CO2. All those models are way too sensitive to a doubling of carbon dioxide, way too much temperature change. Global warming may not have a net harm at all. It might actually have a net benefit. The bottom line, we need more unbiased research, and we have time. We have time. We don't have to panic and act now. Now this, I said hot off the press, because I gave this talk in April. This is, like I said, you can find this stuff in physics in the standard journals. This is Physics Today, March 2008. The same people who published their some statistics in 2006 Geophysical Research Letters said, the non-equilibrium thermodynamic models we use suggest that the sun is influencing climate significantly more than the IPCC report claims. The IPCC is the UN international, I can't remember the acronym. Anyway, it's the UN report. He's saying that the effects of the sun are a lot more significant than they think. If climate is as sensitive to solar changes as the above phenomenological findings suggest, the current anthropogenic, that's man-caused global warming, is significantly overestimated. He's saying they're greatly overestimating our contribution from these new statistics. In fact, they go on to say, we estimate that the sun could account for as much as 69% of the increase in the Earth's average temperature, but it depends on which total solar irradiance reconstruction used. But they think that the sun could cause about 70% of the global warming, and us only 30%. So, you know, we have both, but it appears that the sun could be more. And this was just in Physics Today, just recently published. Anyway, that's the end of this talk. So I'll take a little break, and I'm going to talk about my new book called Flood by Design, Receding Water Shapes the Earth's Surface. And by the way, this doesn't happen after the flood. This is at the end of the flood. So take a 10-minute break. Oh, you can ask. Yeah, okay, we have. Yes?
I got to tell my wife here. We're walking in the park. She says they don't put up signs about the plants and the trees. So here's the person there taking care of the park. So I tell him this, and he says, well, environmentalists won't let us do anything without their approval. We can't cut down a tree unless they come and say it's dead. So go check your parks and see what you see and how much they affect what's really happening in your neighborhood.
Yeah, I'd say the radical environments have us by the neck. We can't even drill for oil anywhere. I mean...
Drill, baby, drill.
Yes.
The propagandists would have us believe that CO2 is a greenhouse gas and the greenhouse gas is negative. If I'm not mistaken, animals take in oxygen and plants take in CO2 and give off oxygen. Has anybody done any correlation studies that shows that the more CO2 that we produce, the better it is for plant life?
Oh, yeah.
Deforestation has not been a problem?
A guy named, I think Sherwood Itso did some, I think he, University of Arizona, did some greenhouse studies of increasing CO2. And yeah, you cause a lot of plant growth with increasing CO2. And that'll take in some of this carbon too. So it's kind of a balance there. Yes. Yes.
On the last slide that you had, you said 1.2 degrees Fahrenheit change, but you didn't list over how many years it's been.
Oh, earlier I did that, since 1880.
So basically since 1880, you ended up figuring it's only going to be 1 point.
That's the total global warming has only been 1.2 degrees from all causes. 1.2 since 1880. That's it.
Okay, then a lot of times they turn around and project that farther. So
Oh, you must have missed that earlier slide. Okay, well. Yeah, beauty about PowerPoint. There you go, 1880. about 1.2 to about 2,000. There's the projections from the model. And what I'm saying is that all these are greatly exaggerated because, you know,
That's what I was wanting to get clarified.
yeah,
What you're saying on that slide.
yeah, okay. Yes.
Mike, can you give us the CO2 equivalency for the water vapor? Isn't the water vapor account for much, much more?
Oh, that counts for 95% of the greenhouse effect, is water vapor. In fact, that's probably why the models are way too sensitive, is because if you increase CO2, they think water vapor increases too. And then that's why they get such a, I think the models are way too sensitive, is because of the effect of increasing water vapor when CO2 increases. But that doesn't necessarily mean that water vapor is going to increase. But water vapor, yeah. I mean, if we increase water vapor on the Earth, we would have a lot more significant greenhouse effect.
How much of the percentage of the atmosphere is made up of CO2?
Oh, a very, very small amount. I don't have...
1%?
Oh, yeah, very much less than 1%. I can't... I don't know. I don't have the number off the top of my head, but it's something, I bet you it's 0.001%, something like that. Ed, you know?
Your graph in parts per million? Like 380 parts per million?
That previous graph?
Or whatever, one of your early ones.
Oh, yeah, it's about 380 parts per million right now. So you can, what is that? That's about about 0.35%. Isn't that right? At 380 parts per million. Yeah, that's what we are right now. Yes, back.
I heard one comment that the UN models for